A few weeks ago, I died in the middle of the jungle for 6 hours. I was out there for 6 hours. And when I came back alive, my whole world was turned upside down. All right, I'm here to tell y'all just how wild the rest of my stay in Costa Rica went after I left Atenas. A bunch of synchronicities had to happen to line up everything for me to take ayahuasca in the middle of the jungle with a black shaman. I'm not going to tell every single detail because I am writing a book. So I am doing a video to kind of summarize everything. So let's get into it. So I finally make it to Costa Rica. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I sold all my stuff. I'm in another country by myself, no family, no friends, no nothing, no plans. I'm just winging it and letting my spirit team guide me. The main reason why I was so pressed to go back to Costa Rica was because before I left the first time, someone told me about Puerto Viejo and they said that's the black side and it's tied to Jamaican culture. And I was like, what? I never knew this. There's a reason why my spirit, my soul has been calling me to Costa Rica. And I think that's why, like, it must be some deep ancestral something here, especially if it's tied to Jamaican culture. So the whole point of me coming back to Costa Rica was to go there. There's this whole Facebook group with black expats in Costa Rica. I made a post saying like, hey, I'm in Puerto Viejo. Let's all link up. Like I'm trying to meet some people, whatever, whatever. One of my friends from Instagram, shout out to Tony, he's my post and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm in Costa Rica too. I'm in Puerto Viejo. And I'm like, no way. So when I get there, I meet up with Tony. He tells me about his whole life journey to get to Costa Rica and all the synchronicities that's happened since he's been in Costa Rica. And he's like, everyone he's met, something is pulling them to Costa Rica. And I said, same with me. And he tells me about someone that he met randomly on the beach. Mind you, he knew this girl from years ago, hadn't spoken to her in like 3.5 years. And then one day he's walking on the beach and he runs into this girl. And this girl name is Jasmine. Shout out to Jasmine. He tells me all about Jasmine. He tells me all about his spiritual experiences and his growth in Costa Rica. And then a few days after hanging out with him, something crazy happens. So Monday rolls around. I sleep in and it's like 5 p.m. at this time. And I'm like, okay, girl, you got to eat something. I'm starting to feel weak, lightheaded. And there's this restaurant that I'm obsessed with that wasn't too far from where I was staying. And I had told Tony about it. And I'm like, you have to try this food. Like, it tastes just like my mom's cooking. Like, I don't say that lightly. And that's where I decided to go. Their food, the portion sizes are huge. I'm going to show y'all a picture of all the food I got while I was there. So I walk in, I sit down. Wouldn't y'all know? In walks Tony with the girl Jasmine. And I'm like, what you doing here? He's like, we just left the beach. And I told her, like, I had to come show her this restaurant because you told me about it. And I meet Jasmine, and Jasmine is amazing. Just like Tony said, he knew that we would connect, and we did immediately. It's like I've known Jasmine for years. We start chatting. She's like, yeah, I'm just here to like decompress and finish writing my book. I'm like, same girl, me too. And then she said, and after that, I'm gonna do ayahuasca. Immediately, my eyes light up. I looked at her, I said, girl, tell me more about this ayahuasca. Whatever you just said, something clicked in my spirit and said, need that immediately. I get back to my room, and later that night, Jasmine texts me the information for the shaman. I text the shaman and I'm like, hey girl, I'm trying to book a private ayahuasca ceremony with you. She was like, okay, I like to do these intake calls before I schedule them. So we get on a call the next day, tells me about her process, how she got to the point of administering the medicine. Amazing. And after she finished telling me, she was like, we're going to do a dieta. The dieta, you can't eat alcohol, sugar, dairy, beef, pork. You have to eat very clean for a week before your session. I said, okay. She told me, she said, girl, the week leading up to your ceremony, your life is going to start testing you. The medicine is going to test you and make sure you're prepared. And I was like, okay, my whole life has been a test. Like, I'm ready. I'm prepared. Literally, as soon as we got off the phone, I get a call that there's a problem with the heater, the water heater in my house. Literally 30 seconds after I get off the phone with her, I said, oh, and so it begins. The whole week is a mess. When I tell you, all the things that I've been through. I was crying at one point. I had an Airbnb battle at one. It was just a mess. The day comes around for me to have my ayahuasca ceremony. I'm a little nervous because I'm like, you hear bad press about ayahuasca that you throw your guts up, you poop. Some people have like a psychotic mental breakdown. And my shaman was telling me that only happens if, one, you haven't done a lot of like self work, if you're resisting the medicine, you're not prepared for this journey, and two, if you have schizophrenia or something, some mental disorder in your family, it can possibly trigger something within you. So she does a very intense screening before she administers the medicine to anybody. But yeah, all of that happens. I made it to the day of my ceremony, and then this happens. So it is the day of my ayahuasca ceremony. Nervous as hell, but I'm so excited. My shaman texts me and she's like, "Girl, can we move this up?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, girl," because I'm trying to get this. I'm excited. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's get it. So I get ready, call my Uber. I'm on schedule. I'm actually gonna be like 5 minutes early. My Uber gets here and it's a little small, tiny car. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It's supposed to take me like 40 something minutes. My shaman sent me the location before I left. So I thought I knew I was going. But we driving, and we start going up this mountain on this rickety road. It's all rock pebbles. It's not paved. We going up this mountain, clickety clanking, and I'm realizing I don't got no service. And I'm like, oh shit. I hope I could figure out like where I'm supposed to go. So we're driving at this point for like 30 minutes, and I get a little glimpse of service, and I'm like, let me hurry up and text my shaman so I can let her know I'm on the way, because at this point I'm like running behind now. I get her text message and it says, "You shouldn't be going up a mountain." I said, "Now, wait a minute. I shouldn't be what?" I look at the location that she sends me. The location is all the way back to where I first started to go up the mountain. Mind you, I'm almost in Panama. That's how long we've been driving across the mountain. Like, my time zone switched on my phone. I got a text message just saying, "Welcome to Panama." And my service is going in and out. I tell her that we're going in the wrong direction. I gotta wait until this Uber gets to my location so I can stop the Uber and figure out what I'm gonna do then. She says, "Don't worry about it. Just calm down. You're not late. Like, it's still fine. Even if we're running behind, it's fine." And I just relax. I immediately sit back and relax. I'm like, you know what? I know this is a part of the whole process of me getting to my ceremony. I can't do nothing about it anyways. So I get to the location that I set in Uber. I'm in Panama, and my Uber driver doesn't speak any English. So I'm just like, I got to figure out how to talk to this man because my translation app isn't working because I don't have good service. And I'm like, okay, Spanish. I've been taking Spanish all my life since I was in Jamaica. Like, if any time I need to know Spanish is now. Like, come back. So I figure it out and I tell him, cancel, like, end the drive. And I said, "I'm not going to get out, but I'm going to call another Uber." I didn't tell him this, but in my mind, I had to think quickly because he was panicking. It was a school bus behind us. He was holding up traffic. We all confused. We all nervous. We trying to figure it out. He ends the ride and I immediately call it back because I'm like, if I get out of this car and he drives off, I don't know how I'm getting home. I don't know. I don't have service. I don't know if my phone is going to work. So he picks up the call or the request, the Uber request, because he's the only Uber around. So he gets it and he sees that it's me. And I said, "It's para mí." And he's like confused, but then he sees we're going back to where we started and he starts laughing. And I said, "Boy, I'm just glad that you're laughing at this and you're not annoyed because I want all positive vibes as I'm going to my ceremony." So we turn our ass all the way back. I text my shaman. I said, "I'm on the way back. It's going to take me about 35 minutes. I end up meeting her a whole hour after I was supposed to meet her. All of this took an hour. We got in a car and we start our way back to her house. Tell me why we driving back to her house and it's the same way we were driving in the Uber. Me and the Uber driver had passed her house on the way to Panama. And it wasn't close. Like, we were deep in the mountains. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she could have dropped me at your front gate." On the ride up there, I'm telling her about all the synchronicities I had leading up to the ceremony, how my week was going and how wild it was. Again, I'm all the details are going to be in my book, but I'm telling her I had a dream about her 2 days before the ceremony and how it was me shadowing her and how I helped her kind of upgrade some aspects of her practice. I didn't know what it meant. Now I do. Now it's been weeks after the ceremony. I know what I was supposed to do with her. And she was like, "Wow, that's crazy that you had a dream about the neighbor and stuff because I have a story to tell you related to this, but I'll tell you later." And we pull up to her house. I'm nervous. I'm like, "Oh my God, it's about to start." And we get there, and once we get there, the howler monkeys start going off. If y'all ever heard what a howler monkey sounds like, they sound like someone is being turned into a werewolf. I'm not even kidding you. Matter of fact, I might insert a little sound bite of it. But she told me, she was like, look, ceremony is already starting, the medicine's already welcoming you. Like, this is gonna be powerful. I could feel it deep in my spirit. I said, me too, girl, and I'm ready. And we walk in, and she clears the space. She does a lot of clearing, smudging, prayer, meditation. She tells me I could prepare any way that I want to. And I start doing my own meditation, my own clearing of space, and getting grounded and talking to my spirit team. She starts praying. She also speaks light language. That is a ancient indigenous language tied to the ayahuasca medicine. And she just told me what are some things I can expect. She said a lot of people do purge via throwing up or go into the bathroom, doing number two. And not everyone does both. You might, who knows? And I was like, okay. So she gives it to me. She also offers, I forgot what it's called, but it's another herb. It calms your brain so that you can like get grounded. And I said, I don't think I need that. I think I'm gonna just be myself and let my brain do exactly what it's supposed to. So I take the medicine, and it takes about 30 minutes to kick in. The feeling of being warped or transformed, what's the word? Transferred, brought somewhere else. That feeling is very similar, but the experience is different. So it starts to settle in. And the first thing that happens to me is a tall, fatherly or man like figure comes to greet me. It's not an ancestor, like he's not related to me, but he's like a guide. He feels like somebody who's protecting me. He comes to greet me. He gives me his hand and he says, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "I do, but who are you?" He's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm just here to guide you and protect you." And then he actually picks me up, carries me in his arms, and he said, "Are you going to let go?" And I say, "Yeah, I am. I'm tired. I don't even want to walk." He said, "Perfect. Let me carry you." And I leaned back and I let him carry me. And boy, was I in for a ride. Now, I know you're wondering if that conversation happened out loud, like if I saw somebody. No. In my brain works, I am a very good visualizer. And so in my mind, I can create visuals like almost like a movie is happening in my mind. So all of the things I'm going to describe to y'all is happening in my mind. All the conversations, everything is happening in my mind. And I know this sounds kind of like woo, but I'm telling you, it's like, when people say they hear God speaking, same kind of concept. Or when you have an inner voice that tells you to do something, same kind of concept. It's just that inner voice is a long drawn out conversation, and it's no, you're not crazy, I promise you. So he carries me off, and then the first thing I am reminded of is a personal experience that I have. I won't get into it here. I'm going to write about it in my book. So if you really want to hear my experience, make sure you sign up for my wait list. But anyways, back to the story. So a personal experience that happened to me in 2018, very traumatic, that came up for me, and it told me that when I say it or they, I'm talking about like my spirit team, my higher self, my ancestors. That's who's talking to me through this experience. And they told me that that experience is what stole my voice and normalized in my subconscious that I'm supposed to navigate through discomfort or like sit through discomfort and take as much as I can before speaking out against it. And when I do, I'm afraid to speak out against it. And that ends today. That was the beginning of my ceremony. I'm gonna tell y'all a high level overview of what happens next. My first lesson comes through. Then after that, it's like thing after thing after thing after thing. I'm being shown my lineage only on my mother's side. So my maternal lineage, all the women in my family and what they used to do and how powerful we are and where I come from. And I'm being encouraged to like rest. Actually, I was told to rest in my power, not stand in my power, rest in my power, because I'm still in a season of resting. I'm resting not only for me, but for all the people that came before me, all the women that came before me, everyone in my lineage. That's who I'm resting for because they didn't have a chance to rest, and I do. And that's what I'm meant to do right now. But I need to be doing it from a place of power, not a place of victimhood. They were very clear to tell me that the women in my family, like the last 4 generations, we need to let go of victimhood. We need to stop feeling like victims because someone in history related to our lineage made us feel like a victim. but that was to take our power. We're not victims. And so my grandmother came and spoke to me, my paternal grandmother. That's the only person from my father's side that came to talk to me. She just was very loving and reassuring. I saw my friend Erika, who passed away. She came through as a firefly. And how I was able to know these things, it was a feeling, like a presence. Like I could feel their presence. And it was a knowing, like they were talking to me. Now, the thing that they told me that I had to say out loud in public to everybody, they told me that I had to tell y'all that I am the leader of the world. And when I told my shaman this, we both were cracking up. They told me I was the leader of the world, and I was like, "Y'all gonna have these people thinking I'm crazy. Y'all gonna have people thinking that I went in the middle of the jungle and lost my mind." They're like, "No, we're going to tell you exactly what to say, when to say it, and how to say it." So, what they meant by that was I am supposed to use my voice to lead people. When I speak, people listen to me, not even from an ego based space. It's just I have things that are meant to be shared out loud. The things that I have that I think through in my mind, all the downloads that I get, I just process them in my mind and I don't share them publicly. And they're like, "No more. You need to speak your mind and you need to talk. And when you talk, people will listen. People are ready for someone to lead them and guide them and be strategic in how they are being led. You are one of the leaders and you're going to help shift the way things are being done currently." And I'm like, okay. Like I always had a feeling that that was a part of what I'm supposed to do on this planet, like a part of my mission, but I just didn't know how. And they also told me I'm not the only leader. There are a bunch of leaders, and I'm surrounded by a few of them. Just in me existing and sharing my experiences, people feel seen and heard. And I want to keep doing that. The way I feel now, how I was able to navigate through autistic burnout and just change my life. If y'all knew where I started out from, I was so poor. I grew up in a very abusive, toxic environment and I made it. I have 4 degrees. I started my own business. I have loved and been loved and just had really shitty experiences and really good experiences. And I want that for everybody out there, and especially my Black people, my Black women. And I'm meant to share that with y'all and just say it and not be afraid to. So that's what I'm doing. They also told me, Black people, we need to wake up. We got some power that we're sitting on and that capitalism and colonialism has taken from us. But we could take it back. And we can only take it back if we wake up and realize the power that's within us. And so my ceremony taught me or showed me that that's what I'm supposed to help people do: recognize and tap into that power that is within us already. Because what I have learned and what I'm doing and what I know is not different than what you know. If you're watching this, you know this too. If something feels activated within you, it's because your spirit knows what I'm talking about. And I'm supposed to keep talking and sharing this to help other people come back online and like break out of the matrix. So that's a high level overview of what it was like for me to do ayahuasca. Like this happened a few weeks ago as I'm recording this. This happened I want to say like 2.5 weeks ago. And normally I stop and process what's happened to me and then I talk about what I've learned. But I'm being instructed very loudly to just share things as I'm going through them. So that's what I'm trying to do now. It's not my nature. I'm very private, but it's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm doing it. If you have questions, please ask them in the comments and I will respond and just share more about my experience. You can also click the link in my bio to sign up for my newsletter. And it's a space for you to ask questions there if you want to ask. Thank y'all for watching the series. And I can't wait to tell y'all more about what's been happening for me as I write my book, all the things that I am sharing and learning. It's just been a wild experience.